We need a driver. We've heard a lot about you. You any good? Get in.
Sure thing, baby. We begin our rundown of Cybernet's best games of '99 with Driver on the PlayStation at number 10. Driver could be the most stylish game ever made. More funky than a pair of James Brown's trousers, its 70s setting is so well designed and its music so cool, it's almost like travelling back in time for every game. Aside from the atmospheric graphics, great music and solid sound effects, Driver also gives you the chance to tear like a maniac through massive, realistic cities. You can crash through boxes, fly through the air over other cars, smash into tables and chairs, and then watch your mad manoeuvres with the excellent replay facility. If that isn't enough, you can then edit the replays and create your very own movie. And essentially, that's how Driver succeeds. Not only are you playing a well-balanced, intense game, but you also feel you're part of a groovy 70s film and you're the star. Oh yes, driving games don't get much better than this. Cybernet's been around the world this year. Here are the top 10 crazy characters that we've met. At number 10...
I am a Klingon, Commander Azar. I've seen your cities. London, ready.
At 9, those man-like mammals from Planet of the Apes took a well-earned lunch break. At 8, the shiniest man in Hollywood, the chrome-crazy Mr. Silver. What a charmer. At 7, everyone's favourite junkyard dealer, Watto, from Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. At number 6, the babe with the bike, Lara Croft, worked up a sweat and burnt some rubber. Our 5th most charismatic character of the year was Xena, the yodeling princess. And at number 4, don't get too close, the scary sorceress Hecuba from Nox kept the crowds at bay. At number 3, and still making friends all over the world, the adorable Pikachu. We just couldn't keep our hands off him. And at number 2, the deadly duo, the Mistress and Horny from Dungeon Keeper 2, came above ground to teach us a lesson. But taking the top spot to become the most brilliant characters that we've met this year, those dancing beauties, the techno cuties, they're number 1. From those fantastically furry freaks, we move back to our chart, and at number 9, a gothic adventure set in a land overrun by vampires. It's Legacy of Kain, Soul Reaver on the PlayStation. You play as Raziel, a former lieutenant of the vampire leader Kain. Kain had you thrown into purgatory because you grew wings before he did, and now your task is to seek revenge for this betrayal. Although your wings are ruined, you can grab hold of them and use them to float around like a hang glider. You're also quite agile on the ground and can leap huge distances with ease. Soul Reaver is a very similar game to Shadow Man, but it's a lot more enjoyable. What separates the two is Soul Reaver's incredible effects, spells and rewarding gameplay. Oh, and the desire to get revenge on the naughty Kain. You can't keep a good hedgehog down. Yes, that prickly personality Sonic was given a new lease of life in 1999 and makes it to number 8 in our chart. Sonic Adventure was one of the key launch titles for the new Dreamcast console, and with the success of previous Sega consoles being strongly linked to Sonic games, the designers had to get it absolutely right to avoid spoiling the launch of its new machine. As in earlier Sonic games, collecting rings prevents you from being killed, and as we've come to expect, the hedgehog is very easy to control and he can speed along at an incredible rate, performing his trademark loops and spins. An interesting feature is the ability to change the camera angles yourself. This gave you an improved perception of the spectacular high-resolution environments. With his incredibly successful pedigree, Sonic Adventure couldn't really fail, and proves that the hedgehog is back and means business. Let's rejoin our countdown of this year's best games by looking at one of our favourite races, GP500 on the PC, which slides into 7th place. GP500 is the most realistic motorbike racing game ever made. Handling your 200 miles per hour machine is actually very scary and demands incredible concentration. The graphics are astonishing, the bikes bump and weave when you apply the brakes or accelerate hard, and the riders are brilliantly animated.
It's nice to choose different riders because it looks exactly like them. So on the game, you know, to actually be racing in a race and to come up on them, it's just like what we see through our helmets. So, you know, it kind of, without all the work, you're able to achieve the same thing. So it's nice in that way.
GP500 is not only an awesome bike game, but a treat for anyone desperate for high-speed action on their PC. If you're bored with Formula One cars or want something a little different, then there's nothing out there to compare with these two-wheeled thrills. It'll make your head spin.
Battle 1, fight!
OK, punching its way into 6th position now is one of the Dreamcast's finest titles, Soul Calibur. With graphics that leave you gasping in amazement and more moves than a disco dancer, Soul Calibur is probably the most accomplished video game ever produced on any home format. There's plenty of depth in the gameplay. You can either fight your way through the available characters or complete the mission battle mode. This involves attempting set challenges, like defeating an opponent using only unblockable moves.
You win!
The sheer volume of attacks and combinations is breathtaking, and some of the warriors are simply incredible. This one is Inferno, a boss character who's made entirely of fire. With its tag team mode, on-screen tutorials, hidden fighters and mission battle reward system, Soul Calibur is a game you'll be playing for months. It'll take you that long to master all those incredible moves. Our 5th favourite game of 1999 is Midtown Madness, a fantastic driving title for the PC. It allows you to jump in a car and drive like crazy through the bustling streets of Chicago. This all looks very dangerous, but don't worry about harming the pedestrians. These people have strange magical powers that make them indestructible. The reason the game works so well is because of the realistic behaviour of the cars. You hit other vehicles with a satisfying crunch. The streets are always packed with realistic-looking traffic, and if you go too fast, you're likely to spin, slide or crash into the scenery. The game has you and your opponents racing across town to reach a number of checkpoints. You're free to take any route you like, and there's a wide range of vehicles to choose from, with our favourite being a massive bus. Midtown Madness is fast, chaotic and very, very entertaining. It's been a great year for racing games, but we found this one to be by far the most fun. And at number 4, something very different. Final Fantasy VIII on the PlayStation. Spectacular, isn't it? This is the latest role-playing game in the incredible Final Fantasy series. You play Squall, an arrogant young student in a military academy. You quickly meet up with a host of quirky characters who'll accompany you on your quest to save the world from the evil sorceress Ultimecia. The gameplay remains similar to previous games. There's plenty of exploring to do, plus many turn-based battles with all sorts of terrible monsters and villains. What really impressed us about this game was its epic sense of scale and emotion. Don't be surprised if you shed a few tears as the plot unfolds. But it also has a weird, quirky side too, like being able to fire dogs through the air during battles. Although not as vast as its predecessor, Final Fantasy VIII is an excellent addition to the series. We can't wait for Final Fantasy IX.
Let's get ready to rumble!
On to our third best game of the year now, and the hugely enjoyable Ready to Rumble Boxing on the Dreamcast. Ready to Rumble Boxing's success lies in the fact that it doesn't take itself too seriously. It mixes very easy-to-use controls with some of the most comical characters to have ever been seen in a computer game. And what a lineup of fighters! Furious Faz and Big Willie Johnson are bound to win a few fans, but Cybernet's favourite has to be the incredible Afro Thunder, whose amazing height advantage is due mainly to his incredible hair.
Time to dance, it's time to dance!
As well as simple hooks, jabs and uppercuts, each fighter has a punishing rumble technique which can be activated after you've landed enough blows, resulting in a devastating assault. Ready to Rumble Boxing will have everyone coming back for just one more fight. Adrenaline-pumping thrills and hilarious animations will make anyone want to get into the ring, and that's why it's our third favourite game of the year. Slightly less physical, but just as competitive, Mario Golf on the N64 has swung effortlessly into our number 2 spot. But how, you may ask, can a golf game possibly be our second greatest title of the year? Well, 2 words explain everything: playability and fun. Unlike most golf titles, this game is incredibly easy to get into, but there are enough obstacles and hazards thrown at you to surprise even the best player. The control system is superb, the game's difficulty increases by just the right amount, and there are so many characters and courses to get to grips with, you'll be playing for ages. As you can learn to play so quickly, anyone can easily join in for a multiplayer session. As usual, up to 4 players can challenge one another either on the golf courses themselves or on the incredibly fun Crazy Golf section. Not since GoldenEye have we enjoyed an N64 multiplayer game as much as Mario Golf. Forget all those dull PC simulations, this is golfing at its best. And finally, here's Cybernet's best game of 1999. When designers Konami announced their second sequel to a little-known action strategy game called Metal Gear, no one could have guessed at the quality of all their hard work. Metal Gear Solid on the PlayStation is quite simply a masterpiece. Many games this year had great graphics, impressive gameplay or bags of atmosphere, but only Metal Gear had all of these things and much more besides. At the heart of the game is an engrossing storyline with all the intrigue and suspense of a Hollywood blockbuster. One original aspect is the way you're persuaded to avoid combat in favour of stealth. Of course, there are times when fighting is the only option, and to this end, the game provides an impressive array of weapons and gadgets. But it was the original features that amazed us. At one point, the game secretly reads your memory card and confronts you with information about what you've been doing when not playing with Solid. A truly stunning gaming moment. With incredible graphics, stunning sound and genuinely tense gameplay, Metal Gear Solid completely succeeds in drawing you into its world and is worthy of our award, Best Game of '99. It's a pity we'll have to wait such a long time for its sequel, but it's coming. Wow, another great show bites the dust. You can still win a console in our competition, though. Go on, give it a go. Until next time, bye.